You're listening to Short Inspirations from Ralph. Change, Part 2. When you first gave your heart to the Lord Jesus Christ, you received favour and grace, and it redeemed you and freed you from sin, forgave you, justified you. That same grace is how you move from here to there, from one position to another. It's how you grow, it's how you develop, it's how you change, it's how you are transformed. But the walk we are to take, quite frankly, can be a stumble at times, mainly because we have to learn to trust God when we hit barriers, when we hit fear and even doubt. We experience or establish mental strongholds and imaginations. And perhaps along the way we start making decisions in our desperation for answers, and the decisions sometimes we make aren't healthy. It's impulsive, and maybe even we struggle with this thing called anxiety. And so we can sometimes sense that we're going backwards. Change is hard. Forward momentum is difficult. But when we hit these walls and we hit these barriers, we can get stuck or feel stuck. And we try and work our way out of our predicament, but we just can't. It's too hard. Our self-will, our strength, just trying harder is really not going to cut it. We have to have a power outside of us. We need grace. We need something other than just our own strength to change. We need to know how to lean on God. That leads to other questions. What is God's responsibility? What is God going to do? What is His part? And then we need to know what our part is. What's up to me? What do I need to be doing? What is my role in change? It's sort of like learning to dance, so to speak. Two partners learning to lead and follow, learning to move in step with each other. When I was at school, we had to do this thing called square dancing, the polka, the jig, the gay Gordon. And one of the few things I remember from that experience is that each dance had a pattern. Each dance had a series of steps, had a way of sort of entering into moving with the music. And although all of us looked sort of really awkward trying to do it, the idea was still there. Believe it or not, if we want to grow spiritually hand in hand with God, we have to realize it's a partnership that actually has a sort of a rhythm. There is a pattern, almost a dance, a movement in how God's grace works in us. It's what Jesus called the unforced rhythms of grace. To help us see how this rhythm works, I want to look at an Old Testament psalm written by King David, one of the greatest kings that ever lived. But David's story was not all victory and success. You see, David got wrapped up in his own sin and his own ego and ambition, a bit like you and I can. But all David could really do is throw himself before God and begin learning this dance of grace, begin learning a new way of life. Listen to some of what he said. This is from Psalm 51, the Passion Translation. God, give me mercy from your fountain of forgiveness. I know your abundant love is enough to wash away my guilt. Because your compassion is so great, take away this shameful guilt of sin. Forgive the full extent of my rebellious ways, and erase this deep stain on my conscience. For I am so ashamed, I feel such pain and anguish within me. I can't get away from the sting of my sin against you, Lord. Everything I did right in front of you, for you saw it all. Against you, and you above all, have I sinned. Everything you say to me is infallibly true, and your judgment conquers me. Lord, I've been a sinner from birth, from the moment my mother conceived me. I know that you delight to set your truth deep in my spirit. So come into the hidden places of my heart and teach me wisdom. Purify my conscience. Make this leper clean again. Wash me in your love until I am pure in heart. Satisfy me in your sweetness, and my song of joy will return. The places within me you have crushed will rejoice in your healing touch. Hide my sins from your face, erase all my guilt by your saving grace. And verse 10, create a new clean heart within me, fill me with pure thoughts and holy desires, ready to please you. May you never reject me, may you never take from me your sacred Spirit. Let my passion for life be restored, tasting joy in every breakthrough you bring to me. Hold me close to you with a willing spirit that obeys whatever you say. That's amazing. God bless you today.